So all the way back in 2020, there were rumours of Naboo appearing in The Mandalorian. This was after word spread of an N1 Naboo starfighter rumoured to be in Season 3. Of course, that ship ended up being for the Book of Boba Fett, but we never actually returned to the planet, a classic location that all prequels fans love. We did see it recently in Tales of the Jedi, but not in live action. But today, there is a little bit of hope that we haven't seen the last of Naboo. Making Star Wars have exclusively revealed that Andor Season 2 is returning to a location used for the Phantom Menace for parts of Naboo. Here's what they say. The facts. Sources have told MakingStarWars.net that Lucasfilm is planning a shoot at Hever Castle in Kent. This palace is about 30 miles from London, and the shoot is going to take place this coming summer in 2023. The shoot's duration is unknown, but they say it should feature a lot of background performers. It's worth noting that while they think it's for Andor, it might not be. They're not 100% sure. This could be for the Acolyte. They say other stories in the works would seem to indicate it is. Star Wars fan historians will know the palace was used for the Phantom Menace back in 1997, 2 years before the film came out. Stars Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson and Ahmed Best filmed a sequence where the Jedi exit the Bongo and go into Theed's palace. This was one of the locations. They say it was also used for the Naboo fountain, as well as the destruction of a battle droid. The question still remains if this is going to be a new location in the Star Wars universe or an actual return to Naboo. And if it is the latter, could we see Gungans? Now, Making Star Wars do say not to jump the gun, because back in 2016 when The Last Jedi was filming Canto Bight sequences in Dubrovnik, Croatia, everyone assumed it was Naboo. The scenery was very similar, but it wasn't. It was for the new planet Cantonica, so there is a cautionary tale there. Now, another reason they do think it could be Naboo is that the Andor series is also filming in Valencia, Spain. That was another location used to film Naboo. The architecture is beautiful. Star Wars has so many worlds, you could argue it's somewhere else, but let's be real, Naboo is unmistakable. They say another piece of evidence comes from Bespin Bulletin, who had some shots from Pinewood Studios, which also seem compatible with this style of architecture. They say this really does look like Naboo. So why would we go there in the second season of Andor? Well, there are so many theories. I think it's to do with Palpatine. If you remember, about halfway through Andor Season 1, I put out a theory that Luthen knows Palpatine's biggest secret, that he's Darth Sidious. I suspect he also knows his homeworld. Moreover, based on concept art, some fans think Luthen might be a relative of Palpatine, one who went a very different way. Ultimately though, we simply have no clue just yet. Making Star Wars are almost certainly convinced it's for Andor, but they do say it could be for the Acolyte, or alternatively, Damon Lindelof's 2025 Star Wars movie, which is set to go into production quite soon, in a few months' time. But what do you guys make of this news? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. Season 2 is also filming at the Barbican Estate in London, and the Daily Mail snapped some photos of Adriel Honer as Bix and Diego Luna as Cassian, a first look at them in the second season. We also have some background characters and an alien. Check it out. And so now guys, let's talk a little bit about The Mandalorian. In yesterday's video, I broke down some new frames from a brand new TV spot. We see Tatooine with Peli's hangar in the bottom, but also a frame of Mandalorians using their jetpacks. Because the backdrop was a desert world and the previous frame was Tatooine, we assumed this was too, but it's not. This is the frame where many fans think they spotted Boba Fett in the background. It's not Tatooine, because a high-definition widescreen version of the same TV spot reveals there's grass. This is a new planet altogether, which Pedro Pascal did tease a few weeks ago. There are going to be familiar locations, but new ones as well. We're going to see Navarro, Tatooine, our first live-action Mandalore, maybe Corvus, and others as well. Either way, I do still hope for a Boba Fett appearance, but it does seem like the only reason Djarin is going to Tatooine is to retrieve R5-D4 as his own personal astromech. Making Star Wars did say they didn't hear about any involvement of Temuera Morrison, so unfortunately there is a chance he's just not going to appear in this season. At least give us Cobb Vanth, who by the way, at this stage, will have his modifications. He's going to be a half-robot badass. You've just got to bring Timothy Olyphant back for Season 3. Staying on the subject of The Mandalorian, with the full Mando issue of Empire magazine now out, we have some more information about the show. At this stage, I've covered most of it on the channel, but there's one tidbit we need to speak about. The tooth-splitting scene in the Book of Boba Fett with Amy Sedaris' Peli motto was improvised. That moment was genuinely hilarious, and Amy Sedaris, with some fantastic improvisational comedic skills, decided that was the way to go. In her own words, she said, "I just improvised that. She asked everyone on set if they had a Tic Tac, and someone had a box of mints. She did it just to make the director laugh, and she's surprised they kept it in." Sedaris' improvised sight gag appears in the Book of Boba Fett's final chapter, Chapter 7, In the Name of Honor. In the same interview, Sedaris opened up about the challenges of working on the Book of Boba Fett. Specifically, she admitted she doesn't often understand the character's science fiction dialogue, and that, she said, made learning her lines difficult, but she said Pedro Pascal could relate. Sedaris appeared in both seasons of The Mandalorian, in the Book of Boba Fett, and she's back in season 3. She is such a funny character. She brings a light-hearted presence to the show. And now something a little bit different. Funko unveils a new Obi-Wan Kenobi figure in Mandalorian armor. You guys know I'm a huge Funko Pop fan. I love these things, they're cute, they're fun to collect, and in a lot of cases, they do justice to alternative dress wear of our favourite characters. In this case, Clone Wars era Obi-Wan in his Mandalorian armor. He looks ready to rescue Satine, and speaking of which, could she or Corky be referenced in season 3 by Bo-Katan? That's a long shot, but you never know. Dave Filoni spoke with Empire magazine recently, and he admitted the Clone Wars influence on these shows. He doesn't want to lose that legacy, so it's not too far-fetched to suggest a mention or fingers crossed a flashback could be a reality. And so finally guys, Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon Jinn himself, has criticised Star Wars for having too many spin-offs. For him, the Disney Plus shows have diluted it and taken away the mystery and the magic, and many Star Wars fans actually agree with this. Personally, I love that in 2023 we have so much Star Wars coming our way, instead of waiting years between movies or shows like it used to be. But there is some credibility to his statement, pumping out content for the sake of financial gain and milking it, versus taking time to craft amazing stories that add to the mythos. Liam Neeson also said he'd not be interested in returning for Kenobi Season 2, if they ever make one. His appearance as Qui-Gon's Force Ghost was very much a one-off, but if it's announced and nearer to the time, the financial aspect of it might entice him. Because a potential second season would involve Qui-Gon's Force Ghost instructing Obi-Wan, that's the assumption. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with him? Do you disagree? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you want more videos not found here on YouTube while also getting access to our Discord server and having your name at the end of my videos, then click the link down there in the description. But until the next one guys, may the Force be with you always.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it was more Star Wars, and then what really happened was when Dave Filoni came in and he created, they had the Clone Wars, and they started to expertly fill in those gaps and prop up the stories. And they did such a great job that people look back at the prequels and go, you know what, they weren't so bad. And I will argue that no, they're pretty much the same on their own. They're not the greatest. They need that support from the animated series, from all the other expanded universe stuff to prop up and fill in those gaps. And what you have is this perfect sort of weaving of the two different storylines as well to prop up the story as a whole, so that you understand now a lot of the choices that the characters made in the prequels make sense now just because you get more backstory from the Clone Wars, which is decades after the movie's released. I find that really, really interesting, that sort of retroactive support, not really retconning, but like supporting of like, well, this is why Anakin acted like this, or this is why this was what was going on during the Clone Wars, because there was a huge gap. And I understand that for feature films, a lot of times you have to have those gaps because there has to be a passage of time.